All right, you guys, we got to move on. Let's go ahead and let's see, we've talked about that. Let's go on and move to the audio because this has piqued some of your interest. You see that the talk button is functional to you. That is because I have actually set up the session so that we could have multiple talkers. When you create your session on the LearnNowBC portal, the default number of talkers is only 1. The default number of people that can come on the video is only 1. But I'm going to share my desktop with you really fast. Let's see, I got a couple of things open here. Get rid of all that. All right. So when you come into this environment, if you want to set it up to have multiple talkers, you can do that by going to the Options menu. Now you do have to be a moderator. So when you are moderating your own session, you'll go to the Options menu, you'll select Maximum Simultaneous Talkers. You'll get this little menu that allows you to move it to up to 6 talkers. So that means that at one given time, 6 people can come on the talk button and talk as if we're all in the same room together. Now a couple of pointers about this. It used to be that everybody needed to wear a headset if you set it up for multiple talkers. That is not the case anymore because with the latest release, we actually have echo cancellation technology built into the platform. So that if you're not wearing a headset and you want to just use your internal microphone and speakers, it no longer creates an echo like it used to. You can also change how many video cameras you want by clicking on Maximum Simultaneous Cameras, and you can see that you can move it up to 6 cameras. So that if we have 6 people come on the video camera, if anybody else has a video camera, feel free to click that video button now, and you see that we have lots of people coming on now. So notice that there's Raheem, and I know that's him because when I mouse over his picture, it will tell me who exactly is on. There's Denise, and there's Susan, and here comes Michelle. Okay, so you can actually see who those people are. Now let me quit sharing for a second. So to activate the talk button, you just click on it one time. No need to hold down the button. The microphone will show up on your talk button, which will be an indicator that you are transmitting. You also have a little blue microphone that appears next to your name, another indication that you are transmitting. And you also have a little speaker meter bar dancing back and forth as you are talking. So let's see who's on the microphone. Rhiannon, you're on the microphone. Tell us about the weather there.
It's sunny. I'm in Victoria.
Okay, you guys just noticed something very important. Rhiannon, come back on. And by the way, I love your name. That's what I was going to name my 5th child if I had a 5th child. So
Thank you.
Come back on and tell us what you do there at LearnNowBC.
Okay, I think I'm back on now, right?
You are.
Okay, I'm actually at South Island Distance Education School, so I teach all the senior biology here online.
Excellent. So you guys probably noticed that Rhiannon came on, the picture changed. So there is actually this little feature called, let me move over, oops, sorry. Gosh, I don't think I have it. Oh, it's coming up, hold on. So there's actually a little feature here that will the default setting is that the video will follow the speaker. So because I'm talking, you see my video camera. Now let's see who else is on. Gordon, you're on. Go ahead and turn on your talk button and tell us about the weather where you are.
Oh, it's actually been really a wonderful fall here in Kelowna, BC, and we're just starting to get cool, a little bit of rain coming now, but not too much.
Excellent. Thank you for that weather report. So basically what I wanted you guys to notice is that with each new person that comes on, that is who you're going to see on the video camera. All right, so hopefully we have just learned that you can go to the options menu as a moderator and you can make adjustments to how many talkers you want and how many cameras that you want. Now, I also want you to know that when you if you are having a bandwidth issue in your area and there are a bunch of people on the video camera, that will actually burn up some of your bandwidth. So you can actually manage your own individual bandwidth by collapsing that window. Okay, so if you want to collapse that window, that will reserve your individual bandwidth so that you are not experiencing any kind of delay. So if you run into any kind of issues, you can close that. Okay. Now, one other thing that I want to tell you about this is if I did not want the video to follow the speaker, let's say we had a bunch of people on and I wanted to make introductions, but I wanted to be the one that is talking, but I wanted to showcase different people. So a few more of y'all go ahead and turn on your video camera. I want to show you one other thing about this. So notice that we have a lot of folks on here. So what if I wanted to make some introductions, but of course I want to be the one that's talking? I could actually bring up Susan. So Susan, there you are. You better give us a big smile because I'm going to now take a picture of you. Okay, so you're going to see Susan's picture come up on the board in just a minute. Here comes Paige. Paige, nice big smile. All right, and you're going to see Paige come up here in just a minute. So notice that I can go through and make introductions even though I'm the one that is talking. There's Rob. All right, how am I taking your picture? If you go up to the options menu, right up there, you'll see that one of the options is to send camera snapshot to the whiteboard. So this is a fun thing to do if I wanted to take different pictures. Raheem, you are in a cave. We can barely see you. All right, there you go. There's Raheem. Let's see who else we have. I think we got Paige. Oh, Gordon was hiding. So notice we've taken lots of different photos of you, and then of course we can use our tools to mark people up. So I can actually label Gordon. Oh, I'm still at 72 points. Let's make that a little smaller. I can actually label Gordon's name on his picture. Okay, and we can also use the tools to, embellish as needed, so we can add whatever we need to add. But the bottom line here is that this is a fantastic tool in order to make introductions to your entire class. You have the first 6 come on, take a snapshot of them, label their name, and move on to another 6. Okay. So let's talk about chat first. I'm going to teach you about how to do a couple of things with chat, and then I'm going to make you a moderator, and we'll have another good discussion about the whole bandwidth and what indicators you have available as a moderator. Okay? So first of all, I want to talk about chat. I've already indicated that the participant has a little bit of a different chat area than a moderator. We have our own moderator tab so that if Raheem and I wanted to move to the moderator tab, we could have our own private chat. But you guys can also privately chat. Before I teach you how to do that, I want to make sure you do see that it says chat is supervised, which means that Raheem and I can see everything that you say. So if you're going to say something in a private chat and you want to talk about us, make sure it's something really good because we can read it, okay? So let's learn how to privately chat. My favorite way to privately chat is to simply double-click on a participant's name. So find the person that you want to have a private conversation with and double-click on their name. You'll see that you will have a little tab that appears that will have a private conversation between you and that person. So take a moment and have a quick private chat with somebody, and then I'm going to tell you a little bit more. Okay, so everybody do a quick private chat with somebody. So far, so good. Okay, so one other thing I want to tell you about is what if Angela, Clarissa, and Debbie want to have a private group chat and they want to chat where nobody else can see. You can have a private group chat by holding down your Shift or Control key and select those people. So if it's Sophia that wants to have a private group chat with Jacob and Emma, she's going to select Jacob, hold down her Shift or Control key, either one, and then select Emma, which will select both of them. Then she's going to right-click and send a private chat. She'll be able to send a private group chat so that those three will have a little community conversation. Okay? So practice doing a private group chat as well. Now you're probably noticing, holy cow, look at all of these different tabs going on. How can I manage all of these tabs? Okay, so a couple of things. You're probably noticing that you have all of these tabs now, and you might be thinking, whoa, how am I going to manage all of these different tabs? Well, let me just show you. As a moderator, you should explain to your students that they need to stay on the Room tab at all times. The reason for this is because sometimes you might have a student that was privately chatting earlier with somebody else. And then if they had another question, they're going to type their question, but guess what? It's going to go to the person that they were previously chatting on before, because they're going to be on that tab. So as a good best practice tip, you should explain to your students that they should be on the Room tab at all times, because they will get an indicator letting them know when they have a message waiting for them that has not been read yet. Okay? So the little figurine there will turn into a speech bubble, which is your indicator that that you have a waiting message. Can a moderator disable the private chat option? Yes, they can. And I'm going to talk to you about that coming up. Okay? I want you to know that as a moderator, you can manage these tabs by closing them when you're finished with a conversation. So you're going to just mouse over the little figurine there. You'll see that it will turn into an X. You simply click on the X and you can close that window. Okay? So you are in charge of managing the tabs. Now I'm going to tell you a quick story, because I want to really drive home the point that you need to make sure that your students are on Room tab. I was teaching a workshop, and I had a gentleman that was not very happy with me. He sent me an email after the workshop, and he said he asked a question 3 times and I kept ignoring his question. Well, I reviewed the recording and I never saw his question. I did see every time he typed in the chat box, and I'm going to tell you how I knew that in just a minute. I could see that he was typing, but I never saw the question. And the reason for that is that the recording will pick up Room chat only. This is public chat. And his message, his question, never came across, which indicated to me that he was privately chatting earlier in the workshop, and he kept asking that question repeatedly to that same person he was privately chatting with before. So it is a good best practice to stay on Room tab at all times. You'll know when you have a message waiting for you. The other thing that I wanted to tell you is, as a moderator, you can choose to have all of your private chats show up on the Room tab, which is very nice, because typically when people are privately chatting, this is what it looks like. You can see their names and you can see what they're saying. It's going to be indented a little bit and italicized. But what if your students keep sending you private messages and you have to navigate to those tabs? That would get a little bit labor intensive. So you do have a default setting here that says show my private chats in the Room tab. So if all of your students are typing to you, they will show up in the Room tab. If you need to answer that student, you can actually just click right on the orange hyperlink and it will take you straight to that tab so that you can answer the student. You always want to remember to go back to Room tab. Okay? So if you guys are on a different tab right now, you may want to make sure you're on Room tab if you ask me a question. Now, I'm going to repeat, the only thing that is picked up in the recording is public chatting. All of the private chatting is not picked up in the or captured in the recording. All right, let's move on, because there's one more thing I want to tell you that you can do. In the chat, a moderator can actually send out an announcement. So that very important message came to you in the way of a pop-up message. So you actually get that pop-up message, and it's a message that pops up that you have to physically close. So it's going to remain there. It's a great way to grab your students' attention. How exactly did I send that out? Well, first of all, you do need to be a moderator. Then you go to the options menu, which is the little menu in the corner of the chat window, and you select send announcement. This little box will open up and you can type your message. So I'm going to go ahead and promote you all to moderators so that you can practice sending out an announcement. I'm going to show you how I'm going to do this. So I'm going to share my desktop, and we're going to learn how to promote somebody to a moderator. So one way to do it is to simply click on a person's name that you want to promote them and drag and drop them to the moderator area. Now notice Raheem and I are in the moderator area. We're in a grouping all by ourselves. We're in alphabetical order, whereas you guys are in your own group in alphabetical order below us. All I have to do is click on Angela's name and drag and drop her to the moderator area. I'll get this little pop-up, are you sure you want to give moderator privileges to Angela? If I answer yes, notice that she has the same power that both Raheem and I have. Okay, so that's one way to promote somebody to a moderator. It's Clarissa's turn. So I can go to Clarissa's name. Notice if I mouse to the right of Clarissa's name, you'll see a little options menu. And these little options menu, you each have one. They only show up if you mouse to the right of somebody's name. I can go there and I can give moderator privileges. I get the same pop-up, and now Clarissa has been moderated. Debbie's up next. I can also right-click on Debbie, and I can give moderator privileges that way. Now, can I multi-select you and promote you all? Absolutely. I'm going to click on Denise's name, hold down the Shift key, and go all the way down to Susan's name. Notice it automatically selected everyone. Now I can right-click, and I can give you all moderator privileges. I love this. It basically says, are you completely out of your mind crazy? Do you want to give your entire class moderator privileges? Yes, I am crazy. And the reason I jokingly say that is you don't ever want to promote your entire class to a moderator. Or, you know, if you do, it might be because you're working with a bunch of colleagues. But if you're working with students, typically you're going to be the moderator. You might have a teaching assistant with you, but the rest of your class is going to be a whole classroom of participants. Now, before you guys get any funny ideas, I will tell you that I am the only one that came into the session with a moderator role. The rest of you came in with a participant's role, and I promoted you. So I can very easily, let me show you again, I can very easily demote you back to a participant's role. So if I click on, I still have that whole group of people selected. Hold on just a second, we're having a little bit of a delay. I can right-click and I can take away moderator privileges. So I can give and I can take away. So if you guys are trying to be tricky, you cannot do that to me. That is because I came in with a moderator role. Okay? So let's see, somebody's messed with you, Clarissa, and they've already demoted you, so I'm going to give you back your moderator privileges. Y'all be nice to Clarissa, okay? So you can take away moderator roles. The other thing that you can do is remove a participant. So be careful, do not kick anybody out of this session. You cannot kick me out, and you cannot take me back to a participant's role because I was never a participant. Okay, so those two things you cannot do to me. Raheem, what's your question?
It's more of a comment. On LearnNowBC, if you're using the booking windows there, screens, and at the bottom you have the four options of supervised, all moderators, raise hand on entry. If you select the moderator, all participants have moderator privilege. Once they come into the room, you will not be able to take that privilege away from them. All right, I just wanted to mention that.